And there were a series of top-level security meetings in New Delhi today. The crucial meetings come days after India's big military muscle flex air exercise Akraman. INS Surat hitting seas, skimming target, BrahMos missiles being test-fired. All this has got Pakistan clearly rattled, and what it, in fact, raising the nuclear bogey as well that the country has been doing. But who is buying this threat really is the big question.
Monday morning saw a series of high-level security meetings in New Delhi. Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh was briefed by the Chief of the Army Staff General Upendra Dwivedi in South Block. Rajnath Singh then met Prime Minister Narendra Modi. On Sunday, the Indian Navy demonstrated its firepower, launching the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile in a combat exercise. The message to Pakistan, a state sponsor of radical Islamist terror, is clear. India is battle ready. It's this military muscle flex that has triggered a full-blown meltdown in Pakistan, with several Pakistani political leaders issuing explicit threats of nuclear retaliation against India.
उन्होंने कह दिया ना कि अगर हमारा पानी बंद करेंगे तो फिर जंग के लिए तैयार हो जाएं। ये जो गोरी, शहीन, गजनवी, ये चौकों में सजाने के लिए नहीं हमने रखे हुए, ये हमने हिंदुस्तान के लिए रखे हैं, बाबा।
Pakistan's Defence Minister Khwaja Asif also threatened India with a full-blown war.
इंडिया जो है ना वो अपनी जो हमारी इंफॉर्मेशन है कि वो इस वक्त जो है एक ऑल आउट वॉर की जगह जो है पाकिस्तान के शहरों में जो है वो दहशतगर्दी की जो है पूरी तैयारी कर रहा है। मैं आप लोगों की वसातत से बताना चाहता हूँ कि हम उसके लिए पूरा तैयार हैं और ये टिट फॉर टैट होगा।
Pakistan has issued a nuclear threat to India even in the past.
हमारे वहाँ 25-30 करोड़ मुसलमान हैं, हम एटमी जंग नहीं चाहते, लेकिन हिंदुस्तान ये याद रखे हमारे पास पाव आधा पाव का भी बम है।
India is conventionally far superior to Pakistan with its larger and more advanced armed forces with better technology equipment. And it's because of India's conventional superiority that Pakistan has a low threshold and threatens India with swift nuclear escalation. India's nuclear policy, formally centered on a no first use policy, has shown signs of flexibility in recent years. Some Indian leaders have hinted that a major terrorist attack, particularly one linked to Pakistan, could trigger a strong response under certain circumstances, especially if chemical or biological weapons have been used. Pakistan should know that its nuclear saber rattling is not going to rattle anyone in India anymore. Bureau Report, India Today.
And the battleground is set turning fissures into fault lines while India continues to mourn the loss of the innocent lives in Pahalgam terror attack and prepares with just and tough measures. Pakistan's old friends are siding with Rawalpindi. Yes, Mom.
Amid growing tensions after the deadly Pahalgam terror attack, India faces a new challenge. Not just from Pakistan, but from its backers, Turkey and China. As the world calls for restraint, Pakistan's allies are swiftly stepping in with weapons, not peace. Just days after the terror strike in Pahalgam, which killed 26 tourists, Turkey has reportedly dispatched military cargo to Pakistan. A Turkish Air Force C-130 Hercules landed in Karachi, reportedly loaded with combat equipment. Turkey later clarified that only a single transport aircraft departed from Turkey and landed in Pakistan for refueling purposes, after which it continued along its designated route. Even then, it has fueled India's anger as it is being considered as Turkey's betrayal. In 2023, when Turkey was devastated by one of the deadliest earthquakes, it was India that rushed in first. Under Operation Dost, Indian teams flew into Turkey within hours, pulling survivors from rubble, setting up hospitals and delivering aid. Meanwhile, Pakistan's all-weather ally, China, has urged both nations to show restraint.
China welcomes all measures conducive to cooling down the current situation and supports an impartial investigation as soon as possible. As a common neighbor of both India and Pakistan, China hopes that India and Pakistan will exercise restraint and meet each other halfway. We should properly handle relevant differences through dialogue and consultation and jointly safeguard regional peace and stability.
But on other hands, Beijing has reportedly fast-tracked the delivery of deadly PL-15 air-to-air missiles in a modern long-range system that could change air combat equations in the region. This growing Turkey-Pakistan-China triangle spells a new headache for India's security planners. Turkey's drones and combat tech, China's missiles, Pakistan's terror proxies. It is a dangerous cocktail aimed at unsettling the region. With Rudra Ashish Kanjilal, Bureau Report, India Today.
And as the Indus Water Treaty is in abeyance for Pakistan, India Today reports from 5 different locations where these rivers actually flow. Take a look at these reports we're getting for our viewers at this point in time.
पूरे पाकिस्तान की निर्भरता उसी पानी पर है जो इस इंडस रिवर से यहाँ से जाता है और पाकिस्तान में जाके जम्मू कश्मीर के बाकी दरिया, चाहे चिनाब हो, झेलम हो, तवी हो, निवास हो, सभी दरिया जितने भी हैं वो उनका पानी भी आखिरकार पाकिस्तान में जाकर इसी सिंधु यानी इंडस रिवर में मिलता है और जाके फिर ये दरिया कराची में समंदर में लिप्त हो जाता है। लेकिन पूरे पाकिस्तान को न सिर्फ सराबोर करके बल्कि उनकी खेती, उनकी बिजली, उनका व्यवसाय इसी पानी पर निर्भर है और यही कारण है कि पाकिस्तान काफ़ी चिंतित है यदि भारत सरकार इंडस के इस पानी को रोकती है या फिर डाइवर्ट करती है।
Right now we are near India-Pakistan international border in Jammu's Akhnur sector. I am on board a boat on Chenab River. Government of India has carried out a major diplomatic strike on Pakistan, and now the flow of Chenab River, of Jhelum River as well as Sindhu River will be stopped. It's a long-term plan, it's going to take, but that's what the government of India has decided. For now, the 1960 Indus Water Treaty has been kept under suspension, which means that we are no longer bound to share any data with Pakistan, because as per the 1960 Indus Water Treaty, the control of Chenab, Jhelum as well as of Indus River was given to Pakistan. Control and rights of these rivers were given to Pakistan, with India having limited access to these water for hydroelectric projects as well as for irrigation purposes. But now the government of India has shown big will Government of India has shown a strong will, and the government has said that Pakistan will be deprived of every drop of water of these three western rivers, including Chandrabhaga, that is Chenab River. The origin point of Chenab River is in Himachal Pradesh's Lahaul-Spiti district, and then it flows through Chamba district of Himachal Pradesh, and then it enters Jammu and Kashmir. It flows through many districts of Jammu and Kashmir, Doda, Kishtwar, Ramban, Riyasi, and finally it reaches Jammu district's Akhnur town, which is a border town, and from a short distance from this place, it enters Pakistan. On that side is India-Pakistan international border, and this river enters Pakistan from that spot. I will just ask my camera person Neeraj Kumar to show you the pictures. There you see, that's the India-Pakistan international border. This river crosses the border and it reaches Pakistan, it enters Pakistan. And as per the 1960 Indus Water Treaty, the control and rights of three western rivers, that is Chandrabhaga, which means Chenab, Vitasta, that is Jhelum, and Indus River. The control of these rivers was given to Pakistan. And many people, many experts always maintained that this treaty was tilted in favor of Pakistan. Even very recently, after the horrific Pahalgam terror attack, Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Umar Abdullah said that the people of Jammu and Kashmir were never happy with this treaty, this water treaty, and they always felt that the people of Jammu and Kashmir were at loss. But now the government has shown big will. The government has decided to stop the flow of these rivers, these three western rivers, but that's a longer term plan. It's going to take a lot of time because we need to enhance our water storage capability. We need to build more dams. Maybe we may also need to change the direction of these rivers. This is a long-term plan, but for now we have suspended the Indus Water Treaty, and government has clearly said that Pakistan will be deprived of every drop of water of these three western rivers. And this decision has been taken in view of Pakistan's continued support to terrorism, in view of Pakistan continued support to infiltration. Pakistan continues to sponsor terrorism against India, and that is why the government has decided to use this non-military option for now.
अगर वुलर लेक की बात करें तो वुलर लेक साउथ एशिया की फ्रेश वाटर की सबसे बड़ी झील है। सामने की तरफ आप ये देखेंगे तो ये वुलर बैराज है। ये जो आप देख रहे हैं मिट्टी का वुलर बैराज है। 1990 में इस वुलर बैराज को बनाने की कोशिश की गई ताकि पानी को रोका जा सके, लेकिन आतंकवादियों ने ऐसा होने नहीं दिया। 2004 में कोशिश की गई, तब आतंकवादियों ने आईईडी से इसे उड़ा दिया। 2012 में उमर अब्दुल्ला की सरकार आई तो एक बार फिर से इस बांध को बनाया जाने लगा। तब पाकिस्तान ने आपत्ति जताई कि इस वुलर बांध को बनाना इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी का उल्लंघन है। उसके बाद ये बांध नहीं बना, लेकिन अब इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी रद्द कर दिया है भारत सरकार ने। ऐसे में जो ये बांध है इसको बनाने का रास्ता साफ हो गया है, और इस बांध के बनने से झेलम नदी का जो पानी है उसका प्रवाह रोका जा सकता है, क्योंकि झेलम नदी का पानी पाकिस्तान की तरफ जाता है।
India has now suspended the 1960 signed Indus Water Treaty, in which it intends to block every drop of water going to Pakistan. We are at the Indo-Pak border, and you can see we are at the river Ravi, which originates from Himachal Pradesh, goes through Pathankot, Gurdaspur, Samba areas, and then finally from the Indo-Pak border in the Ramdas sector, Ajnala sector, it merges into Pakistan. You can see the visuals. Now the picture you are seeing on that side where the camera is, that is Pakistan, and whatever flow goes, it goes to Pakistan, and Pakistan uses it for irrigation and agricultural fields. Although India has primarily control of this river, but now, although India has a Ranjit Sagar Dam in Pathankot and the Shahpur Kandi Barrage controlling major part of it and blocking its route to Pakistan, but whatever leakage goes now, with a strong signal against terrorism and against Pakistan, India intends to block this river Ravi's flow to Pakistan and ensure that Pakistan gets a tough lesson for spreading terrorism against India, and now no drop of water goes to it through this river Ravi.
Post the Pahalgam terror attack, India has launched a series of measures to put pressure on Pakistan and to make Pakistan understand that these kind of terror attacks, its nature of aiding and abetting terror, will no longer be accepted by the Indian state. Now, it started with a slew of diplomatic measures, offensive, and one of them, which it seems has pinched Pakistan the most, is the Indus Water Treaty. India has suspended the treaty from their side and has also threatened that if this doesn't stop, it will definitely stop the waters. It will do whatever it can to ensure that Pakistan is penalized. Now, what is the Indus Water Treaty? Which are the rivers which form the Indus Water Treaty? Who is authorized to use water of which river, and basically the technicalities, because the common man, the layman, needs to know. It has a lot of technicalities around it, but just to ensure that we put it out in layman's language and in layman's term, if I have to explain it now, it definitely is advantage Pakistan when it comes to the IWT. How it has been shaped, signed, obviously it is these waters benefit Pakistan. They use maximum, or around 80% they have benefited out of it, and India obviously is using lesser proportions. So this treaty quite clearly is favoring Pakistan, and this is why India, since it has decided to suspend it and probably also think of options where it can choke water, it can stop water. So this is something that is pinching Pakistan. There's no doubt about it, because they have reacted to it in a very aggressive way. Be it the politicians, the army generals, the opposition, they're all one, saying that if that happens, obviously that is a declaration of war from India. But to leverage this really on the ground, it will require India to have massive infrastructure.